Detached home sales in South Surrey and White Rock, they just surged 38.5% in a single month. Not prices, but sales. That's buyers stepping off the sidelines and moving fast during what is one of the slowest seasons of the year. So if you've been waiting for a sign that the market is shifting, this might be it. Now, I'm not saying that the market's, heating up across the board, because frankly, it's not. And this doesn't mean that prices are skyrocketing everywhere either. But this kind of surge in sales, especially in detached homes, it tells us something important is definitely happening. We're seeing sales continue to rise in specific segments of the market, but others, well, they are still softening. And if you don't know the difference, you could either miss a major opportunity or make a very expensive mistake. And what's even more surprising, though, is what's going on with prices, with inventory, and the timing behind the scenes. Because when you put it all together, you start to see exactly where things might be heading next. So let's go ahead and break all of this down. In June, the median sales price in South Surrey and White Rock for all property types jumped from $899,900 to $1,060,000. That's a 17.8% increase. Now, detached homes, they are leading the charge. They're up from $1,710,000 in May to $1,800,000 in June. That's a 5.3% increase in just 30 days. Townhouses crept up too. They went from $909,950 to $930,000. That's a modest 2.2% rise. But condos, well, they actually slipped a little bit. The median prices, they dropped 1.6% from $645,000 to $634,900. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Single-family home sales, they jumped a whopping 38.5% month over month. But townhomes and condos, well, let's just say sales stayed flat. There was no real movement here whatsoever. So what does all of this tell us? Well, it's a clear signal that buyer demand is returning to the market, but selectively. The money is clearly flowing towards specific property types and price points. And if you're not aligned with that, you're going to misread the market completely. So if you're a buyer, especially if you're looking at detached homes, this is your wake-up call. The window of lower prices, it may be closing, at least in pockets like South Surrey and White Rock. So yes, inventory is still relatively high. We have 629 detached homes on the market. We have 267 townhouses and 399 condos, all currently listed on the market. But that's a little bit deceptive, because even though there's a lot of choice, the best properties are getting scooped up fast. And then the rest of them, well, they're just sitting there longer. And that's why we're seeing detached homes, days on market, it's jumped from 39 to 44 days in June. The same goes for townhouses. They went up from 25 days to 31 days. However, condos, they remained the same, with an average of 39 days on the market. And all of this, it tells us that the market is trying to rebalance. And these patterns, they are a good clue about where things are heading. So here's your play. If you're serious about buying, stop waiting for some magic moment, okay? Use the summer lull to your advantage. Negotiate smart, act decisively, and you might lock in a great property before buyers potentially flood back into the market this fall. Now, if you're selling on the other side and you own a detached home in South Surrey or White Rock, yes, people are buying. But if your home has been sitting on the market for a while, you are definitely not alone. Right now, only 11.4% of detached homes are selling in a given month, which means nearly 89% of listings are not moving. So while demand is indeed picking up, it's still a very competitive landscape. And most homes, they simply will not sell unless they're priced right and presented very well. So if you want to be in that small group that actually does sell, You need to be smart. You have to have a deliberate approach because today's buyers, they are cautious. They're picky, which means you need strategic pricing, sharp marketing, and someone who knows how to create urgency in a slower season. Now, please understand that these stats, they cover South Surrey and White Rock markets specifically, but conditions, they can vary a lot depending on the city, the neighborhood, and even the building. So if you'd like to know what's going on in your specific area, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to share those numbers with you. And if you have any questions and you want more clarity about any of this, feel free to reach out. There is a link in the description box below. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.